Too much yet.
Hello everyone, this is Calvin Castine. We're at South Acres Field in Plattsburgh. We're going to watch the traditional flip of the coin here. Here for an all-star game featuring the Little Towns League in dark blue and the City Women's League in pale blue. Be flipping the coin will be Judy Bayshore on the right representing the City League and Pat Bombardier representing the Little Towns League. Our play-by-play man tonight, our old favorite, the Bob Uecker of slow pitch softball, Mr. Softball himself, Mad Dog Castine.
Well, good evening, North Country softball fans, and Calvin, thank you for comparing me to Bob Uecker. There's a big difference. Uecker was a fine defensive player. I, on the other hand, lack the defensive skills, but I'm a fine offensive player in my own right. But enough foolishness. Let's get to business at hand. The first annual Interleague All-Star Game between the All-Stars of the Littletown Softball League from the northern tier of Clinton County and the All-Stars of the Women's City Softball League. We're right before the player introductions. First to be introduced will be the team from the Little Towns Softball League. They are coached this evening by Pat Bombardier, representing Sandy's Deli, and player coach Alma Manor, representing Northland Heights. The Little Towns non-starters this evening from Northland Heights will be Alma Manor. Also from Northland Heights, Sheila DeCoste. Sheila DeCoste from Northland Heights is a non-starter. Before her, introduce Darlene Gowett from Sandy's Deli and Alma Manor from Northland Heights and Luann Bombardier from Sandy's. And now the starting lineups. From Fox Hill Maple, Amy Williams playing second base. Batting second in the order will be the shortstop from the Blue Note, Phyllis Walker. Hitting third for Little Towns League tonight, their left fielder from Fox Hill Maple, Sandy LaFountain. In the cleanup spot this evening, the right fielder from Northland Heights, Keitha Burnell. Batting fifth will be the first baseman from Fox Hill Maple, Teresa Bosley. Batting sixth and playing right center field from Ardcom Satellite, Wendy Davison. In left center field, hitting seventh from Fox Hill Maple, Lisa Dragoon. Playing third base in the eighth position in the batting order from Fox Hill Maple, Kathy Blondo. Batting ninth will be the catcher from Fox Hill Maple, Carla Dragoon. And batting 10th, the pitcher representing Northland Heights, Pat Rodriguez. That is the all-star team from the Little Towns Women's League. And now the Women's City Softball League All-Star team. The coaches representing Shazy Women, Judy Bayshard, and representing Ormsby Sports World, Brad Ott. The non-starters from Domino's, Carrie Parrish, last-minute replacement for Lori Rock, suffered an arm injury in Tuesday night's game, replaced by Parrish. From Adirondack Cycle, Lisa Karen. From Adirondack Cycle, Jackie Duquette. From Ormsby Sports World, Darlene Egan. And from Plattsburgh Air Force Base, their pitcher, Phyllis Johnson. Now the starting lineup for the Women's City Softball League. Leading off, playing left field from Shazy, Kathy Taylor. Batting second, the shortstop from Shazy, Joanne Grotto. In the number 3 position, the right center fielder from Ormsby's Carol Dumas. In the cleanup spot this evening will be the right fielder representing Plattsburgh Air Force Base, Nikki Terrio. Batting 5th for the City All-Stars will be the left center fielder from Shazy Women, Denise Samard. Batting 6th, the first baseman from Ormsby's Kathy Roach. Batting 7th will be the third baseman this evening from City Carina, Debbie Luff. Number 8 spot in the batting order from City Carina, the pitcher, Beaner Roberts. Batting 9th, representing Shazy Women, the second baseman, Ann Slattery. And batting 10th, representing Dominoes, the catcher, Suzanne Souza. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are the All-Stars from the Women's City Softball League. And I guess, Calvin, it's time to play ball.
Any predictions on the outcome, Mr. Dog?
No predictions on the outcome of tonight's ball game. This is an all-star game, basically played for fun. And these teams are just put together on a one-night basis, and there's no telling, how good these teams are going to come together and how well they're going to play. So, Dog has no predictions. How about yourself, Mr. Calvin?
I'm a lot braver than you are, Dog. I'll say that Little Towns League will be lucky to come within 10 runs of this City League team.
Well, Calvin, I'm glad that you're living closer to Champlain than I am. Ladies and gentlemen, Calvin said that, not Dog. Let Calvin take care of it. The umpires for tonight's game will be Steve Richardson and Daryl Romero.
Well, we have a moment. Won't you, if you know, go over the rules that they're playing by, the Little Towns League rules, I believe.
Well, there are some rule changes in tonight's ball game for both teams. The major change will be the size of the ball. Unlike the 11-inch softball that the Women's City All-Stars are accustomed to using in their ball games, they've gone to the 12-inch ball used by the Little Towns League. The other rule change for the Women's All-Stars from the city, the bases have been shortened to 60 feet rather than their usual 65 feet. ASA rules still in effect. The third strike foul is still in effect. You hit a foul ball with 2 strikes and you're automatically out.
So that's a change for the Little Towns League.
Yes, that's the rule change for the Little Towns League. And another change, the Little Towns League plays with if you're on the bag and the batter swings and misses, you are out. Not the batter, but the base runner is out. That rule is not in effect tonight. We are going strictly ASA. If I can use this as a forum here for that rule, I know that a couple leagues in the area use that rule. I, for one, am totally against that rule. I feel that it serves no purpose, and it's just an archaic waste of time to put it in the bylaws. As Beaner Roberts delivers the first pitch this first annual All-Star game to Littletown second baseman Amy Williams from Fox Hill Maple. Williams hits a little soft fly ball out to Ann Slattery at second base. Ann puts it away fairly easily. And that's the first out of tonight's All-Star game. Coming to the plate representing the Blue Note Restaurant in Moores will be the shortstop Phyllis Walker. Roberts delivers a line drive out into the right field for Walker. Terrio, ball into first base is Phyllis Walker. That's the first hit of the ball game. That'll bring to the plate from Fox Hill Maple a left fielder, Sandy LaFountain. Sandy's an excellent hitter. She has power to both fields and not afraid to go both ways. She hits a line shot down the first base line. It gets through Terrio's legs. Walker going to third. LaFountain going to third now, has Walker scores. She sends her to the plate. LaFountain beats the throw to the plate. Sandy LaFountain with a 2-run home run with 1 out in the top of the first inning puts her team ahead 2-0. Representing Northland Heights, Keitha Burnell. Keitha playing right field this evening. Burnell hits a ball to the second baseman. Slattery goes through her legs. Dumas gets the ball into second base. Slattery charged with an error as Keitha gets on. Keitha is one of the players in this ball game that participates in both leagues. She plays for Northland Heights in the Little Towns League and plays for City Carina in the City League. Up to the plate will be the first baseman from Fox Hill Maple, Teresa Bosley. She hits the first pitch over to the first baseman. It goes to second for the out. Bosley remains at first base. So there's 2 down in the top of the first inning. Already 2 runs are in. Teresa Bosley stands at first. That'll bring to the plate the left-handed hitter from Ardcom Satellite, Wendy Davison, the right center fielder in tonight's ball game. Little defensive problem here for the Women's City All-Stars in the first inning. Roberts brings the pitch to Davison, down to Roach. Roach fields the ball and goes over to first. Turn the third out of the inning. But on the strength of Phyllis Walker's 2-run home run, the Little Towns Slow Pitch League breaks out to a 2-0 lead after a half inning of play.
Sandy LaFountain's 2-run homer with Walker on board. Of course, LaFountain an extra.
Losing my head here. Losing my head again.
LaFountain an excellent opposite field hitter, and City wasn't playing her that way. And of course, pitcher for City, Beaner Roberts, was also picked as an all-star for the Little Towns League, but she opted to play for the City League.
Sandy's Deli in downtown Rouse's Point is conveniently located for that lunch on the go or a leisure meal in our sunny dining room. Our subs, homemade pizza, tacos, and salads are always fresh. A wide choice of beverages and desserts top off your meal. We have a full line of deli items to cater special occasions. So stop in or phone 297-6951 and have your order waiting. Open daily from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. until 10 on Friday and Saturday evenings.
Leading off the bottom of the first inning for the Women's City All-Stars from Chazy, their left fielder, Kathy Taylor. Rodriguez, first pitch was a strike. She comes back with a ball. Accounts even up at 1-1. Taylor hits a ball past the first baseman, Bosley, out into right field. Right fielder Lisa Dragoon gets the ball into Walker at second base. So Kathy Taylor leads off the bottom of the first inning with a base hit to right field. And that'll bring the power-hitting shortstop from Chazy, Joanne Grotto, to the plate. Geez, that looked like a strike, Calvin. I could have swore that hit the front of the plate. That was called an illegal pitch.
Do a little lumping while you're over here, I guess?
Well, sometimes they need a little boost. Rodriguez falls behind Grotto 3-0. She battles back with a strike, and the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the first inning here. Little Towns League leads 2-0 as he calls an illegal pitch on Rodriguez. So Grotto draws the walk, moves to first, pushes Kathy Taylor over to second. From Ormsby's Sports World, Carol Dumas steps in. Carol's playing right center field this evening. She's played a little left field, a little right field this year. She hits a ground ball in the infield of Walker. Walker gets by her, Taylor's going to score on the play. Grotto hustling to third base. LaFountain with a throw to third base allows Dumas to get to second. And that'll send to the plate from Plattsburgh Air Force Base with nobody out and runners on second and third. Probably the most dangerous hitter in the Women's City Softball League, Nikki Terrio from the base. This girl can hit. She's real good power here to right field in this girl. Rodriguez falls behind 2-0. Another dangerous hitter on deck, Denise Simard from Chazy. Rodriguez losing control here, falls behind 3-0. And on 4 pitches, Nikki Terrio draws a walk. That'll bring the ever dangerous left center fielder from the Chazy women, Denise Simard, to the plate. Denise Simard, good power to both sides of the field. Rodriguez with her 5th consecutive ball. And she falls behind 2-0 to Simard. The first baseman, Kathy Roach from Ormsby Sports Whirl, on deck. Rodriguez battles back. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike on Simard. She hits a ground ball up the middle. That'll score Grotto, and it should score Dumas. They almost get Terrio at second base as Amy Williams tried to slap the tag on, but a 2 RBI single from Denise Simard. Kathy Roach, power hitting first baseman from Ormsby, stepped to the plate. Women's City All-Stars break out now, 3-2. We're in the first inning, the bottom of the first. There's nobody out as Rodriguez throws a ball to Kathy Roach. The third baseman from City Carina on deck, Debbie Luff. Rodriguez throws a strike. Counts 21. Roach steps out complaining. Thought that arc was a little low. Brad Rodriguez evens up the count at 2-2. Roach pops the ball up behind third base. It's trouble, and it falls in fair as Terrio moves over to third. So the bases are loaded for City Carina's Debbie Luff, who's playing third base this evening. Usually plays shortstop for City Carina. Bases are loaded and nobody out in the bottom of the first inning. Debbie Luff hits a ball by the shortstop. It's up the middle. She drives in 1 run as Simard motors to the plate. So Debbie Luff with a 2 RBI single stretches the Women's City All-Star lead to 5-2 in the first inning. That'll bring to the plate the Women's City All-Star pitcher from City Carina, Bina Roberts. Rodriguez falls behind Roberts, 2-0. She battles back with a strike, and the count goes to 2-1. Rodriguez and Roberts, very familiar with each other. Played against each other many times. Roberts hits a ball to third base. It goes through the third baseman Dragoon's legs. Roach moves over to third. And Roberts, with a ball by the third baseman, loads the bases up again. For the second baseman from Chazy Women, Ann Slattery. It's 5-2. We're in the first inning, the bottom of the first. Still no outs. She falls behind Slattery 2-0. She battles back with a strike. Slattery hits a ball foul down a third baseline. Count goes to 2-2. Next foul ball, Slattery will be out. The ASA third strike foul rule. But I don't know if Rodriguez has enough control tonight to work inside or outside to try to force her to foul the ball off. Slattery hits the ball to the shortstop. She makes the play. Has a little trouble getting it out of her glove, but goes to third base for the first out of the inning as Roach scores. So Slattery's at first and Roberts at second and one down. It's 6-2. And the number 10 hitter as the Women's City All-Stars bat around in the bottom of the first inning, Suzanne Souza, who's catching the ball game tonight. She's usually a left fielder for Domino's and an excellent left fielder at that. She's a very fine defensive player. Souza hits a fly ball to Davison out in right center. Wendy comes in and makes the catch and doubles Roberts off of second base. But in the inning, after trailing 2-0 in the top half of the first, the Women's City All-Stars roar back with 6 runs in the bottom of the first. And after one complete inning of play, they lead the Little Towns Women All-Stars 6-2.
The Little Towns League, I thought, was a little bit tight that half inning. The defense.
I thought, so too. I thought there was a few balls in the infield. Well, especially the pop fly that fell in over at third base, and a few balls on the shortstop side of second base. They could have been fielded. I don't know if it's nerves or maybe the ball's getting out a little quicker than what they're accustomed to.
Definitely some harder hitters, I think, than what they're used to all through the lineup. Little Towns League may have a couple in the lineup that can hit like that, but top to bottom right here in this City League All-Star team, they've got people who can drive that ball. And I think you mentioned Luann Bombardier being here. I don't believe she is here. I think Alma Manor has been moved to the backup pitcher to replace Rodriguez. Bombardier, I believe, re-injured a knee.
Oh yes, that's
last
right.
night, and she's not here. Bina Roberts was the original pitcher, but she opted, as I said earlier, to go.
Lisa Dragoon, the right fielder from the Little Towns Women's League, is up to the plate. She represents Fox Hill Maple. It's a foul ball down a right field line. I think Fox Hill has 6 players on the All-Star team this evening.
Yeah, the voting was done early in the season.
Dragoon, nice catch made by the second baseman, Ann Slattery. Made a real nice catch on that ball that was ticketed for a base hit out into right field. Slattery moved over, put the glove on the ball, and made the out. Lisa's sister, Kathy Blondo, playing third tonight for the Little Towns League, is the next hitter, and she hits a fly ball out to left field, where Kathleen Taylor moves over, makes the easy catch. Unless you drive a ball out into the left field here, Kathy Taylor's going to catch the ball. Excellent defensive outfielder. This is an all-around real good player. It's Carla Dragoon. It's an easy pop fly to the pitcher Roberts, and an easy 1-2-3 inning in the top of the second inning. After an inning and a half, the Women's City All-Stars, they lead over the Little Towns League 6-2.
What direction did you say that wind is coming from? I'm trying to get a judgment on it.
Well, it's blowing in, I'd say a little bit from left center field, right over into our face. We're on the first base side of the field.
Right in this direction.
Now we're catching a swirl right now. I'm getting a little bit from the third base side also. Although I wouldn't compare the swirls here to Candlestick. Although I've never been at Candlestick, so it's unfair of me to compare.
And if you're nothing else, you've always been fair.
Always fair. Always.
Fair, mediocre.
Fair and always right. I think those are the 2 most important things in life. Be fair and be right. Just a reminder, I don't know if this is going to be shown.
Saturday night.
Well, Saturday night, then it's early enough. If you can come down here on Sunday and catch the championship round of the Chazy Pepsi 6th Annual Women's Slow Pitch Softball Tournament, where some of the finest teams in northern New York State and Vermont will be participating. Leading off for the Women's City All-Stars, she led off the first inning, will be their left fielder, Kathy Taylor. She rips the ball up the middle. She motors to first. Just standing here on that base hit by Taylor, you can see the difference in the ball. The ball seemed a little heavy. She seemed to have to muscle it out into the outfield more. Where the 11-inch ball, she would have snapped it, and it might have found a gap and went for extra bases. The batter now, the shortstop, Joanne Grotto. The Women's All-Stars, they'll go with this team for the first 4 innings, and then they'll make changes after the 4th inning.
I think Grotto is defensively one of the best shortstops I've ever seen.
Yeah, she's excellent. We have a new shortstop into the league this year. Her first year into the league, Jenny Ott, who plays for Ormsby Sports World. Her father's one of the coaches for the Women's All-Stars. She's also a fine, could very well push Grotto as being the best defensive player in the Women's City League.
I haven't seen her yet. She'd have to be some player to...
Yeah, she's an excellent defensive player.
Because your shortstop at the City, Debbie Luff, is no slouch. She's an excellent shortstop, but Grotto, I think, is just in a category by herself. But Luff is a...
Well, you've got to come down and you've got to see Jenny Ott play some shortstop because she's excellent also. Very quick. Dion hits a ball out to left center field. Left center fielder, Burnell, throws the ball into the cutoff. Taylor stays at second base. So the Women's All-Stars, they look to have the makings of another big inning. They'll send their 3rd hitter to the plate, a right center fielder from Ormsby's Carol Dumas. Other fine, other veteran performers who aren't here tonight representing the league from Chazy Women, Poppy Rock, all-around excellent ball player, gutsy. From City Carina, excellent hitter Mo Castine, who's been around women's softball for ages. Dumas hits a foul ball down a left field line, and tonight's first instance of the ASA 3rd strike foul, as Dumas is the first out of the inning, the bottom of the 2nd. We've still got runners at 1st and 2nd, and the right fielder from the Air Force Base, Nikki Terrio, steps in. As I said earlier, this girl can hit a ball. I don't know how she'll handle a 12-inch ball, but that 11-inch ball, she can shoot it out there. As she pops up foul territory, the first baseman, Bosley, moves over, makes the catch, and Taylor alertly tags up at second base and motors to third. And when Bosley went over to try to get her at third, Joanne was Joanne Dion until last year's wedding. She tagged up and moved to second on the throw. So with runners at second and third and 2 outs, Denise Simard from Chazy Women steps in. Denise in high school was a Mariah Viking, as was the Women's All-Star second baseman this evening, Ann Slattery. Simard rips the ball to the shortstop. Walker makes the catch. So after the makings of a big inning, Little Towns League slams the door shut, and they don't allow a run to score. And after 2 complete innings of play, the Women's City All-Stars lead the Little Towns All-Stars 6-2.
Well, the Seymour brothers have done it again. Paul and Bob Seymour at Manette's Furniture and Moores have once again become way overstocked in not just one, but virtually every item that they carry. As a result, they've been forced to have an early summer stock reduction warehouse sale. They have great sale prices on everything that they carry: washers, dryers, and all major appliances, TVs, VCRs, stereos, bedding, and of course, furniture. If they carry it, it's on sale now at Manette's. So do yourself a favor. Hurry down and help Paul and Bob get their inventory down at Manette's Furniture in Moores, New York.
Leading off the top of the third for the Little Towns All-Stars, their pitcher from Northland Heights, Pat Rodriguez. Roberts falls behind in the count, 2-0. She battles back with a strike. Count goes to 2-1 on Rodriguez. Roberts hits the ball to the third baseman. Luff with a nice smooth throw over to first. Roach stretches for the throw. Makes the first out. Debbie Luff is a real nice delivery with the ball. She's real smooth. Once the ball is in her glove and she brings it over to the bag. With one down, batting for the Little Towns All-Stars are their second baseman from Fox Hill, Amy Williams. She falls behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Pitcher Roberts. I'm sure Beener knows what's going to happen now. Williams hits a lazy fly ball out to left center field, and Denise Simard comes in and makes the easy catch for the second out of the inning. Phyllis Walker, who got on and scored the first Little Towns run in the first inning, is at the plate. She hits a fly ball out to right center field. Dumas moves over and makes the catch. And again, it's a rather easy 1-2-3 inning for the Women's City All-Stars. And after 2.5 innings of play, as they come trotting off the field, they lead 6-2 over the Little Towns All-Stars. What's happening and give us some times.
How come she's not on the team?
They had a team vote and decided to send 3 of their older players. She's a rookie in the league. This is Debbie Luff. She hollers over encouragement to our home.
Debbie will probably come visit her old roommate Barb Pelkey and watch herself on TV this weekend.
Well, hopefully Debbie will be busy all weekend, as she takes part in the Shazy Pepsi tournament with City Carina. Roach hits a fly ball out to LaFountain in left field. Sandy makes the easy catch, and that's the first out of the bottom of the third inning. That'll send the third baseman from City Carina, Debbie Luff, to the plate. Rodriguez starts Luff off with a strike. Luff hits a pop fly. This game here, except for the first inning's offensive showing, has turned into a rather lackluster offensive affair.
Once the team settled down defensively.
With 2 outs and nobody on, Beener Roberts is going to step in. And Rodriguez, she seems to have settled down. She's throwing a lot more strikes than she did early in the ball game. She gets ahead, 0-1. Roberts hits a fly ball out to Keitha Brunell in left center field, and Keitha makes the easy catch. After 3 complete innings of play, the Women's City All-Stars lead 6-2 over the Little Towns All-Stars.
Our colorful color man, Mad Dog Castine, over looking to see if he can find Linda Bayshore, who's suddenly disappeared on us. There she comes, and you get a little bit of information on that tournament, the weekend tournament.
Country fans, we have with us one of the coaches from the Shazy women, who are hosting their 6th annual, if I'm not mistaken, Shazy Pepsi women's slow pitch tournament. And this will be shown Saturday evening, so maybe you can fill us in on what you've got planned for Sunday as far as time for semifinals and finals. Give us some time slots.
Well, on Sunday there's 4 teams still in it, and the first game will be at 10:30, and that'll be in the losers bracket, the backdoor bracket. Then right after that game at 11:45 will be the playoffs of the winners bracket. The loser of that bracket then moves into a 1:30 game and plays in the backdoor bracket. Then the championship game will be about 2:15.
Could you fill us in, Linda, on some of the out-of-area teams that are going to be here this weekend?
We have Ben & Jerry's, who are the New England regional champions, and they are also 2-year state Vermont champs, and they'll be here. And they drew a bye, and they were seeded as a bye because they were last year's champs in the Pepsi tournament. And then we have K&P Vermont State Burlington League. Right now they're in champion place too also, and they're here. The other teams are from the Women's City Softball League, and we have 5 entries in that league.
So it's an 8-team field.
7.
7-team field.
Right. There was a Syracuse a team based in, but they pulled out at the last minute.
So Linda, we wish you well, and we hope the weather's good for this weekend.
Did you hear any forecasts?
No, I didn't.
I hope it's good too.
But we wish you luck. It's always been a fine tournament, well organized, well umpired. The teams have always been real good teams, and good luck in the tournament.
Well, thank you very much, Mad Dog.
Okay, and all you softball fans, if you've got a free moment Sunday, make a point to get down to South Acres Field on South Catherine Street to catch the semis and the finals of the 6th annual Shazy Pepsi tournament. Keitha Burnell, the second hitter, if I'm not mistaken, of the inning. Sandy LaFountain was the first out, and Keitha hits a ball out to left field, where the new left fielder Nikki Terrio makes the catch. We've got some changes here in the inning. Terrio moves from right field over into left field as Roberts delivers the pitch to Teresa Bosley. Jackie Duquette moves into the game from Adirondack Cycle at third base as Bosley hits a lazy fly ball out to Phyllis Johnson of the base. So another easy 1-2-3 inning. Darlene Egan has moved into the game for the Women's All-Stars at second base. Suzanne Souza has moved from behind the plate out to left center field. And Debbie Luff has moved from third to short.
Did you pick up Corn? Corn's in the game.
Is Lisa Corn at first base?
Yep.
Well, from Adirondack Cycle, Lisa Corn is now playing first base. I don't believe there are any changes as of yet for the Little Towns League. I think they only have 2 people available on the bench. Player coach Alma Manor and Darlene Gowette, if I'm not mistaken, from Sandy's Deli. So it's the bottom of the 4th inning. It's a new second baseman for the Women's All-Stars from Ormsby Sports World. Darlene Egan steps in. She hits a ground ball to the shortstop Walker. Egan with a lot of speed down at first base and on a close play. And I think we'll take a look at the replay on that. On a real close play. Fans, you can write to the umpire. After you view it Saturday evening, you can write to the umpire. He's going to give me his address. Real bang play as the new left center fielder for the Women's All-Stars, Suzanne Souza, steps in. She's moved from behind the plate out into left center field. She's a number 10 hitter in the lineup. Hasn't been a lot of runs scored here since the first inning, and we're in the 4th. There's 1 away. Rodriguez with a walk to Souza. The new right fielder usually pitches for the Air Force base. Phyllis Johnson steps in with 1 away. She hits a ball down to the third baseman. Blondo over to Williams for 1 at second. They don't get the out at first as Johnson beats the throw down. And stepping to the plate with 2 outs and a runner on first will be the new third baseman for the women's all-star team, Jackie Duquette. She hits a lazy fly ball out to left field, where left fielder LaFountain comes in and makes the catch. So another lackluster offensive performance in the bottom of the fourth inning. The score still remains after 4 complete innings of play. The Women's City All-Stars, on the strength of 6 runs in the bottom of the first, they lead the Little Towns All-Stars, who scored 2 in the top of the first, 6-2.
Sandy's Deli in downtown Rouse's Point has been serving the North Country for 4 years, and we would like to thank all our loyal customers. Our pizza is homemade, our subs and tacos stuffed with fresh ingredients. For the do-it-yourself lunch or that large party this weekend, we carry a full line of deli items and make salads to order. Bring the whole family or get your favorite food to go by calling 297-6951. We are open daily 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. until 10 on Friday and Saturday.
Well, we're into the 5th inning of play here. It's your right center fielder from the Little Towns All-Star team, representing Ardcom Satellite, Wendy Davison. Steps in as Bina Roberts starts her off with a strike. Davison goes the other way to left center field, hits a fly ball out to Suzanne Souza. Souza comes in and makes the catch. And we've got 1 away in the top of the 5th inning. We've got a pinch hitter coming into the ball game from Sandy's Deli, Darlene Galwette. She'll bat here with 1 out in the top of the 5th and nobody on. She hits a ground ball by the shortstop out in the left field, where Terrio picks the ball up and gets it into Egan at second base. So Galwette trying to get something going here in the top of the 5th inning. She's on first with a single. Kathy Blondo, the Little Towns All-Stars third baseman, steps in. Roberts falls behind 1-0 on Blondo and battles back with a strike to even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Falls behind 2-1 on the count. Hits a ball by the third baseman out in the left field, where Terrio picks it up and gets it into the shortstop. So the Little Towns lead gets something going here in the top of the 5th inning. They've got runners on first and second with 1 down. The catcher, Carla Dragoon, steps to the plate. Roberts starts her off with a ball. Dragoon hits a ball. Look at this play by Dumas. Picks up the base hit out in right center field and goes to third base to get the 2nd out of the inning. Heads up play. I thought she might have a shot at second, but she was smarter than I am and knew she didn't have a chance at second. Knew she had a pretty easy play if she just get the ball over to third. The 2nd out of the inning. That'll bring the number 10 hitter, the pitcher, Pat Rodriguez, to the plate. Hits a ball to the third baseman, Duquette. Picks up the ball, steps on the bag. So they got something started, but they didn't finish the job. And after 4.5, they still, the Little Towns All-Stars, they continue to trail the Women's City All-Stars 6-2 as we move into the bottom of the 5th inning on what's turned into a blustery, wind-blown evening here at South Acres Park on South Catherine Street in beautiful downtown Plattsburgh, New York. Well, we're in the bottom of the 5th inning here as the right center fielder Carol Dumas leads off. We've got some defensive changes for the Littletown All-Stars. Dumas hits a foul ball down a third baseline. The defensive changes in at second base from Northland Heights, Sheila DeCoste. And from Sandy's Deli, moving out into right field, replacing Lisa Dragoon, Sandy's Deli, Darlene Gowette out in right field now. Rodriguez throws a ball. Count goes to 1-1 on Carol Dumas. Made a real nice play defensively. She hits a ball in the air. She's got him beat out in the left center field. Dumas rounds the bag at first and motors into second. Keitha Brunell with a nice play to cut that ball off out there in the outfield. Well, that would have been all the way to the fence and would have been a home run. The ever dangerous, I know I keep preaching this, that this girl can hit, and you've yet to see it. She's drawn a walk this evening and popped out to the first baseman. But if she gets a hold of one, that right fielder is going to take a ride. Or a long run, I should say. Because with the 11-inch ball, we play her about 25 feet further back as she hits a ground ball to DeCoste at first. Dumas moves over to third. So Terrio moves Dumas over to third base. And with one out in the bottom of the 5th inning, Carrie Parrish steps to the plate, and she'll try to drive in the 7th run for the Women's City All-Stars. Parrish hits a ground ball to the shortstop as Dumas goes to the plate. And Parrish, there's the advantage of the 60-foot base for a girl like Carrie Parrish. 65 feet, she's out. 60 feet, she's safe. She drives in the 7th run. So there's one out in the bottom of the 5th. Women's City All-Stars stretch their lead to 7-2. And at the plate will be the first baseman from Adirondack Cycle, Lisa Corrin. Corrin grounds the ball to the third baseman off her glove, rolls over to the shortstop who just picks the ball up. So Corrin hits the ball off the third baseman, Kathy Blondo's glove. She motors into first base and Parrish to second. The Women's City All-Star shortstop from City Carina, Debbie Luff, steps into the plate. Debbie Luff hits a foul ball out of play down the left field line. She falls behind, 0-1 on the count. She hits a fly ball out to right center field where Wendy Davison comes in, makes a nice catch on the ball. That's the second out of the inning. So with 2 down and runners on first and second, the pitcher from the Women's City All-Star team, Beaner Roberts, also from City Carina, will try to help her own cause here. Try to get a big base hit. Rodriguez on a close pitch, falls behind 1-0. Rodriguez battles back and evens up the count at 1-1. She gets ahead on the count, 1-2. Now Roberts has to keep it in play. Roberts with a ball out to left center field. She drilled it out there, but right at Keitha Brunell. Keitha comes in and makes the catch. In the bottom of the 5th, the Women's City All-Stars, they pick up another run. After 5 innings of play, they lead the Littletown's All-Stars 7-2.
This is Gary Dragoon at Dragoon's Farm Equipment, Route 11 in Moores, New York, inviting you to stop in and see our complete line of Cub Cadet lawn and garden tractors, mowers, and implements. Take an inside look at why Cub Cadet garden tractors have been America's choice since 1961. You'll find that a Cub Cadet, backed by service professionals and a 2-year limited warranty, is one tough tractor that's right for you. Cub Cadet offers a wide variety of riding or power mowers to fit any lawn or budget. Stop in and see us at Dragoons Farm Equipment, Route 11, Moores, New York.
Well, Sheila Decos, the new second baseman for the Little Towns Women's All-Star team, moves in to lead off the 6th inning with her team trailing 7-2. She hits a line drive to Debbie Luff at shortstop. Makes the easy catch on her knees for the first out of the 6th inning. That'll bring her counterpart from the Little Towns League, from the Blue Note Restaurant, their shortstop, Phyllis Walker, to the plate. Walker hits a little fly ball. Debbie Luff moves over, makes the catch. So quickly in the 6th inning, there's 2 outs. And up to the plate, person responsible for the 2 runs her team has scored this evening with a first inning 2-run homer down a right field line. It got through it was a line drive that went through the legs of Nikki Terrio out in right field. Sandy LaFountain bats with a count at 1-1. She hits a hard ground ball to Luff at short. Luff, nice soft throw over to first base. So another 1-2-3 inning. We've played 5.5 in this first annual Interleague All-Star game between the Little Towns All-Star League and the Women's City All-Stars. The Women's City All-Stars lead 7-2 as we move into the bottom of the 6th inning. Bottom of the 6th inning, the second baseman from Ormsby Sports World, Darlene Egan, leads it off for the Women's City All-Stars. Rodriguez throws a ball here, and the count evens up at 1-1 strike to Egan. Egan hits a hard ground ball by the third baseman, Blondo. Goes to first. She's around the bag, looking at the throw. Egan called out her last at-bat on a questionable call. Stepping to the plate will be the left center fielder from Domino's, Suzanne Souza. Suzanne, a Plattsburgh State Cardinal women basketball star from Chazy. Her family operate a dairy farm in Chazy. She hits a line drive to Blondo at third. Makes the catch for the first out of the inning. It's Phyllis Johnson, the right fielder from Plattsburgh Air Force Base. Steps in with 1 on at first and 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Jackie Duquette on deck. Rodriguez falls behind 2-0 to Johnson. It's a ground ball to the third baseman, Blondo. She goes over to second base. Egan hustles in. So after starting off the inning with a single, they fail to move the runner. There's still a runner on first, but there's 2 down. That'll send Jackie Duquette to the plate. Duquette hits a little fly ball out in the left field. LaFountain comes over in foul territory and makes the grab. So this moves into the 7th inning of play. Women's City All-Stars lead 7-2 over the Little Towns All-Stars. And it looks increasingly the odds are against you, Calvin, in your previous statements about the outcome of this game.
What statements were that?
I'm not even going to repeat those statements because they may be misconstrued as to say they originated from my luscious lips. But they originated from yours, so you remember it, you state it.
They might be edited right out of this broadcast.
Ah, yes, I forget that you were not only the cameraman, but also the engineer.
For those who tuned in late, my prediction was that the Little Towns League would be lucky to stay within 10 runs of City League, and so far they're lucky.
Keitha Burnell steps in. She hits a foul ball down the left field line. Falls behind 0-1. Keitha and Beener are teammates on the City Carina team. Keitha hits a lazy fly ball that may be trouble. It falls in out in left field for a base hit. In the world of softball, that was a tweener. So the Little Towns League with a runner on first, and Keitha Burnell, who seems to have an injured elbow. As Teresa Bosley, the first baseman, steps in. Hits a ball, pops it up, foul. Hits a foul ball down the first baseline. But the first baseman, Lisa Corrin, drops the ball, gives Bosley another chance. Bosley tries to go to left field. That's unusual coming from Teresa Bosley. You don't see her go that way much. Now she's behind in the count. 0-2 is Roberts. Out there at first as it flips off the glove of Lisa Corrin at first base. She seems to have a little defensive problem here. That was an easy double play. The left-handed hitter, right center fielder Wendy Davison, will bat with one out and a runner on first base. Davison hits a ground ball to Egan. Egan comes over and makes a play at second base to Debbie Luff, who was covering the bag. Get the force on Bosley. So that's the second out of the inning. Wendy Davison on first base. And representing the last hope for the Little Towns All-Stars will be Darlene Gowette. She hits a ground ball. Roberts on the mound. She goes over to Corrin. And ladies and gentlemen, that's 7 innings of play. That's the ball game as the Women's City All-Stars defeat the Littletown All-Stars 7-2. Looking back on the game, if we were to critique this game, not the most exciting game that we've witnessed so far this season. Rather lackluster offensive performance on both teams' part.
Nobody hit. They just very boring game after that first inning. Looked like it was going to be a real blockbuster, but just...
Yep, a lot of innings of 1-2-3, 1-2-3. And I don't know, maybe the one team being a little tight. Maybe the other team using a different ball. A wind might have had something to do with the offense on both teams.
Might have played a factor. If you take away the misplays that Littletown made in that first inning, this would have been a very close game. It was only 5 runs as it was, but it would have been very close.
Well, Calvin, where will we see you again?
Well, you won't see me. They're going to hear me. But I'm not sure where my next game is going to be. I haven't looked at next week's schedule yet. This is the last one I'm doing this week. And that'll be it from South Acres. We want to thank our old buddy Dog Schneider, otherwise known as Mad Dog Castine, for doing the play-by-play.
Thanks for having me, Calvin. And until next time, remember, softball fans in the North Country, softball fever, catch it. We'll see you next time around.